Volkswagen Sharan second generation. This is 2012 model with 2-liter TDI engine, and today we are going to replace fuel filter in this car. Let's open the bonnet and see what's going on here. Fuel filter is this bad boy here. So let's open this engine cover and see what is happening. What I like about this car, that Volkswagen made it easy to service and maintain this car. You can see my other videos on replacing oil, air filter, coolant filter, brake pads, whatever. It's all quite easy, but there is one but with the fuel filter. The fuel filter itself is quite simple to replace. You will see it in a minute, but the problem is when you take the old filter out and put the new one in, you get some air in this system, and high pressure fuel pump shouldn't be running dry because it can damage it. To avoid it running dry, what actual manual says is to connect the software to vehicle computer, VCDS, and engage fuel pump, the other fuel pump that brings fuel to the filter, to bleed the system. We'll see what we can do to go around it. Diesel fuel filter has 3 pipes. This is what comes from the tank. This what goes to the engine, to the high pressure fuel pump, and this is a return from the engine. As you can see, the pipe that goes to the high pressure pump after the fuel filter, it goes down. So when we lift the top bit, we shouldn't get too much air in that. So to open the top bit, we have to undo 5 T20 Torx screws and then lift it. I'm gonna lift it and hang it to something. Let's loosen them. I'm gonna put some tissues around here to keep it tidy. Also, you must remember you shouldn't get any fuel on the coolant hose pipes. If you get some, clean it as soon as you can. So let's put some tissues around it. The other thing you can probably do is pinch, say, this hose that comes from the fuel tank. There are some little tools you can do it with, but I don't think I can get away without it today. So these bolts are loose. Let's remove them one by one. Loose them. All 5 bolts are out. There is no leaks yet or anything. I'm gonna use luggage strap to hang the top bit of the fuel filter housing, and let's move it. There we go. We have spilled here a little bit, so this is the bit we're going to replace. To take the old filter out, I'm gonna use the oil drain pan and some more tissues. I'm using screwdriver just to take it out. You can let it drain for a bit. Maybe if you don't want some old diesel to stay there, just catch it and then dispose it somewhere in recycling. What we do next is have a look inside that cup. If you see any water at the bottom or some dirt, something not good, you can pump out the rest of the fuel or you can leave it if it's not too bad. If you feel that you want to pump out the rest and clean it, then you can use something like this siphon pump. I bought it in Halfords for £3, £2.99. You put one end into here and then put somewhere below the level of the diesel cup, and then it goes. Using this as a, I can't say vacuum cleaner, but you can remove any dirt from the bottom. With the filter housing nice and clean, I brought some canister with the diesel, new from the petrol station. Fill up this with the new diesel, about 80% I would say. Like that. Now let's take the new filter. As you can see, new filter comes already with the new seals on, so you don't have to worry about seals. The way it works, the new fuel from the fuel tank or any return fuel goes back here and drops here, so it gets filtered inside, and the engine, the high pressure pump, takes it from the inside already filtered. So if we put the new filter in, the new diesel fuel will be filtered through. So let's put it carefully and let it fill up. Now let's put this in. If there's any fuel coming more, then you can catch it with the tissues. Now we put this in. As you can see, it's full. So as you can see, fuel filter is full now. This bit will go in, and the only bits of air before the high pressure pump can be probably just little bit here. I don't think it will be big drama. We're gonna talk about it a bit later, and let's put everything back together. Let's take it off the hook, and keeping hoses down, just put it and press it. With the cap back on, put these bolts on a thread, don't tie them up yet. We're gonna tighten them in star pattern. All 5 bolts are in, and let's tighten them up. Don't do them around, but as I said, star pattern, the one then one opposite. They're not tight, 5 Newton meters as it says here. So pressure distributes evenly, go in a star pattern. Am I saying this too much? Star pattern. Star pattern. Nice and easy. Now let's remove all this paperwork. Any spillages, clean it. Make sure there is no diesel, as I said, and manual says also there is no diesel should be on a coolant tank, so clean it straight away and keep it tidy. So what kind of situation do we have here now? In my view, we have some bubble of air here, which shouldn't be big problem. This is a return, so it's not a big deal. The pipe from high pressure pump is immersed into diesel, so we'll see how engine will react to that if we're gonna start it. Now is the moment of truth. Take the key and start the engine. Easy. Was that the end of the world? I don't think so. Run the engine for a few minutes to make sure there is no bubbles left in the system. There's lots of fuss on the internet about necessity to prime fuel lines. Mainly, I suppose it's because manual says so. And manual, as we know, is written for VW garages, dealerships, and of course when you have diagnostics software, it's much easier just to replace the fuel filter and then bleed it with fuel using a computer. Much simpler than doing the mess we've just done. But as you can see with this little bubble, car has started in like 2 seconds, so I don't think there is a big problem with that. If the fuel filter is completely empty or fuel lines are empty, probably you won't be able to even start the car, but this little bubble I think makes no harm to the fuel system. After you switched off the engine, check for any possible leaks, make sure it's all clean, hose is clean. Engine cover goes back on and we're ready to go. If you want to discuss this, see my website wheelsandmotors.com. Also you can see it for any possible repair and servicing manuals for this car, some other cars. I'll be happy to see you there. Thank you for watching. Bye.